what is going on? Welcome back to What Shall We Do Next? I'm Mike, your host, and I hope you guys are having the best day ever. Before I get started, guys, if you are new here, please subscribe. If you haven't already done that, we're on the road to 85,000 subscribers. We just hit 84. I don't know what videos are blowing up, but hey, keep them coming. So if you guys are new here, hit subscribe and join the fam. And also, guys, go follow me on all my social media. Links are in the description. I have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and even Snapchat, so go follow me on all of those. And as you guys know, I recently started a Facebook account, so you can add me on Facebook and we can be Facebook friends, so go do that. Link is in the description. And finally, be sure to turn on the notification bell right next to the subscribe button. That way you get notified every time I upload a video. Thank you. But once again, I am coming back at you guys with another creepy video, and today we are talking about another scary story. And this scary story is called Sunday Morning. Kind of reminds me of that cursed song that I did, if you guys remember that. Wow, the gloomy Sunday. Ugh, creepy, creepy. So, the story of Sunday Morning is called Sunday Morning, and it is a scary story about a young girl who is always late for Mass at her church. It is based on an old French folktale called The Spectre's Mass, which was first recorded in 1890. This is the same folktale that inspired the story One Sunday Morning in the book Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Now, I've read the story the way I imagined it. It was pretty creepy, pretty intense, and I thought it was pretty cool. I'll give you guys a little heads up, though. I thought it could have done with some more detail, but hey, it's still a cool story. The other thing I want to mention is this is actually a French story, so it's got, like, the people's names are French, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be pronouncing them right or not, but just a little heads up. I mean, considering I am of a French descendant myself, I recently found that out, so yeah, apparently. Je m'appelle Michael. I don't speak French at all. I'm sorry. But enough of the jibber jabber, let's get right over to the story. Sunday morning. There was a young girl named Josephine who was habitually late for Sunday morning Mass at her local church. She always forgot to set her alarm and wouldn't wake up in time. Finally, she got tired of her parents telling her off and decided she would never be late for Mass again. One Sunday morning, Josephine woke up at midnight, unaware of what time it was. She thought she had overslept again and jumped out of bed. She quickly got dressed and ran out of the door without even looking at the clock. It was still dark outside, but it usually was dark at that time of year. It was very quiet, and there was nobody else on the street. The only sound she could hear was the noise of her own footsteps on the pavement as she hurried towards the church. When she heard the church bell ring, she quickened her pace and took a shortcut through the cemetery. She got to the church just as the service was about to begin. She found a seat and took a look around. Much to her surprise, she didn't recognize anyone. The church was filled with people she had never seen before. They were all staring straight ahead, and an eerie silence hung over the gathering. When the priest came out to celebrate Mass, Josephine realized he was a stranger too. The priest told the congregation to pray for the soul of a young girl named Francois, who died the night before. Josephine was shocked. She knew Francois, and she had never even heard that the poor girl was ill. Something was radically wrong. She began to feel very uneasy. She looked around again, and as her eyes began to adjust to the dim light, she saw someone that she knew. There was an old woman sitting at the back of the church. Josephine's heart sank when she remembered that the old woman had died a year before. Looking towards the front of the church, she saw that some of the people sitting there looked very strange. Their skin seemed to be pearly white. One of them turned his head, and Josephine discovered to her horror that he was nothing but a skeleton in a suit, just a skull and some bones. This is a mass for the dead, thought Josephine, Everybody here is dead, except me. It's a specter's mass. She noticed that some of them were staring right at her. Their eyes were filled with anger. It was clear to her that she had no business being there. Suddenly, she felt a tap on her shoulder. Nervously, she turned around and found her grandfather standing there in a row behind her. He had been dead for 3 years. There was a worried look on his face. He leaned towards her and whispered in her ear. "Leave right now, while you still can," he hissed. "You don't belong here." Josephine immediately grabbed her coat and walked quickly towards the door. She heard hollow footsteps echoing behind her and glanced back. The dead were rising out of their seats and following her. Their faces were twisted in fury and hate. Josephine was terrified and dashed to the door, a pack of shrieking ghosts snapping at her heels. She felt skeletal hands grabbing at her, trying to stop her from leaving. She twisted and turned and struggled to set herself free from their grasp. Her coat was ripped off and her hat was snatched from her head, just as she managed to slip out the door. Screaming and crying, and almost out of her mind with fear, Josephine ran all the way home and told her parents what had happened. Later that day, someone came to the house holding what was left of Josephine's coat and hat. They had been found in the cemetery, torn to shreds.
And that is the end of that. So this is a pretty creepy story. This girl obviously thought, like, I've done it before myself. I mean, I don't know how many of you guys have done that, but when you sleep in and you're late for something and you wake up and you realize like that, there's just that feeling of like, oh my God, I'm late. And you realize, like, for example, with school or something like that, or work, you're like, you wake up and you're 30 minutes, you've slept 30 minutes longer than you were actually supposed to be in work, and it's just the worst feeling in the world. I've done it before, and it's a horrible feeling, and it really does like make you, it ruins your day. When that happens, it just completely ruins your day. You're just like, man, I feel like crap all day because I rushed, I didn't get to take my time, didn't get to have breakfast, and all those feelings, and it does mess with you a lot. Like, it completely ruins your day, and it makes you think, I'm never, ever, ever gonna do that again. And still to this day, I sometimes jump up every morning and I feel like I'm running late for something, and it's just a weird feeling. It's just like something that we all fear, like waking up and then we're late. And I guess that does, like, I've done it before, and like I was saying, I got a little off track there, but I've jumped up and I've like started putting on my pants and stuff, and I'm like, toothbrush in the mouth, and then I realize that it's like 5 hours before I even have to be awake, and I'm like, huh, what, go back to bed. And then you go back to bed. But it's a horrible feeling, so I kind of see where she did that, like jumped up at midnight. I've done that before myself, and then she's obviously gone, but she didn't go to the church. At least she thought she was going to the church, but she actually was in the cemetery. Like, she must have thought like she was hallucinating the church, or she did go to the church, but somehow her clothes ended up in the cemetery. Maybe when they went back to bed. That's it. It all makes sense now. When the dead were going back to sleep, when sunrise was coming, they all went back to their graves. They must have took the coat and hat with them. Makes sense now. I'm sorry, I'm getting way too excited about this story, but my question to all of you for question of the day is, have you ever slept in? Let me know your story in the comment section. I love hearing other people being late. I don't know why, I find humor in that. So if you guys have ever been late for something, work, school, you've slept in and you're like super late, let me know what your experience was and what happened to you. Yeah, that is question of the day. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please slap a like on it. Let's see if we can go for 36 billion likes on this video. I would really appreciate that. And if you guys didn't see my previous video, which was a pretty creepy story, it actually gave me chills reading it. Pretty creepy. It was about a girl who she's like, she sees dead people, and it's freaking weird, man. Just watch it and let me know what you guys think. If you haven't seen it, the outro will come on and you can click right about here. It will take you straight over to that. Or if you just want to watch another random video, you can click this side and it will do that too. But remember, the most important thing of all, guys, chase your dreams. I love you all. Don't let anybody bring you down, and I'll see you guys back here tomorrow for another video. Peace out.